interests. So will Chandrababu say no to the Waqf Bill? That's the question that we are asking right now. That's the question that we are asking. Will Chandrababu Naidu say no to Waqf Bill? The TDP, which is the most crucial, not important, crucial component of the ruling NDA with 16 MPs, seems to be speaking in a different voice, forked tongue as it were, from the centre. The issue concerns the state's 10% Muslim population and what is now a controversial topic, the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024. At the Samvidhan Bachao Sammelan, organized by Jamaat-e-Ulema-e-Hind, Jamaat Chief Maulana Arshad Madani said, and I am quoting Mr. Madani here, this government is dependent on two crutches. A strong one is Chandrababu and the other is Bihar Nitish Kumar. I had invited him. He excused himself but has sent his party's Vice President Nawab Jan. I look at this positively as he will convey the sentiments of the people gathered here. Next to comment was of course TDP's Nawab Jan himself, who said that Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu will not let any bill that harms the interest of the Muslims be implemented. He also exhorted that everyone should come together unitedly to stop the Waqf Bill 2024 from being passed in Parliament. Listen in to what TDP's Nawab Jan had to say.
हमारे वजीर आला नारा चंद्रबाबू नायडू साहब एक सेक्युलर माइंड के आदमी हैं। उसका मिसाल बोलता हूं मैं, उन्होंने कभी स्टेज में हंदे एक ही बात बोलते, हिंदू मुसलमान मुझे दोनों आंखें के बराबर है, एक आंखी को मान लगा तो पूरा जिस्म को तकलीफ होता, मैं बर्दाश्त नहीं करता हूं, दोनों को एक ही नजर से देख के मैं आगे ले जाने में काम करता हूं बोल को हर प्लेटफॉर्म में भी हमारे वजीर आला नारा चंद्रबाबू नायडू साहब बोलते आ रहे हैं, करते भी आ रहे हैं।
You know, in recent times, even as Naidu was vocal about correcting the impurity regarding the Tirupati Laddu Prasadam and also ensured that members of the TTD insist on only Hindus in the board of the Devasthanam, will Babu walk the talk and stand up to protest against the Waqf Amendment Bill to protect the Muslims in his state? Like I said, will he really stand up for secular principles, or is that a doubt, or is it all about politics? Let us debate. K.S. Prasad, political analyst, is joining us on the debate, and we shall now await other guests. Mr. Prasad, thank you so much for joining us on the debate, Mr. Prasad. Good evening to you. What do you think of this, Nawab Jan openly saying in Delhi that, Chandrababu Naidu stands for secular principles? He also said that Hindu and Muslim are like the two eyes of Nara Chandrababu Naidu. He is somebody who will actually protest against the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024. Around 10% Muslims in the state. Of course, the latest data is awaited. We looked for it. It's not been updated. But what is your opening comment about this? Because on the one side, he is supposed to be the protector of the Hindus and the great Sanatana tradition, and the other, you think, I know you are smiling, but do you think he will walk the talk and protest against his masters in Delhi, the NDA, and say, no, I don't agree?
Good evening, ma'am, and good evening to the panelists.
Good evening.
And good evening to the viewers. Ma'am, the question and answer both are with you, and it's very clear and evident. The person who really talks more and more about Sanatana, and the person who really talks and initiated with the Tirupati Laddu, and subsequently a person belongs to a turning person, like he has taken so many U-turns as far as Telugu state's pride, special status itself, and the way he has explained to the rest all as far as the turn, what he has taken versus what the explanations he made for the special package. The same scenario, he never bothered about almost 12%. It's not 10%, man. Around 12% Muslim communities were here in Andhra Pradesh. And it is very, very, very clear that he says a different explanation to the people. The Waqf Board, whatever amendment bill has been passed in the respective parliament, he says it is all in the protection of Muslim community and all sort of stories he narrates and he tells. Because he had a huge media, those narrations, either you or me cannot contradict. That's how he narrates the stories. Apart from all that, today everyone knows pretty well that the NDA government is surviving because of Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. These two have never have a voice against Narendra Modi, because today his colleague might have said in Jamaat this thing, as far as Chandrababu Naidu is concerned, he had two eyes, one is Hindus, other is Muslims, and one eye got injured and entire body will all. This is another narration. And apparently, if he says about Muslim community as far as this particular bill is concerned, he will give 100% support, because if you really recollect, you are the senior most journalist and you know pretty well that after the Godhra incident, he himself given a verdict stating very clearly that we will never align with these set of parties. And subsequent developments in 2014, as far as 2024 is concerned, he just changes his colors as far as every 10 years. Just like instead of Pushkaras, every 10 years he changes his colors towards his political survival. This is going to be another huge turn, and he takes definitely a huge U-turn as far as Waqf Board 2024 bill is concerned.
We also, let me make it very clear to the viewers and to Mr. Prasad that we invited the TDP for a debate. They declined. They said party guidelines, we will not come. I totally understand, but it's my duty to inform the viewers, because you must be thinking, where is a TDP representative? No, but they watch my show. I know this for sure. They watch the show very, very keenly. They can't say we never watched your show, because they are my audiences and I respect them, because they give me due kind of viewership, as it were. Mr. Prasad, this is of course I am addressing to TDP people, but I also want to ask you. On the one hand, you say Tirupati, Tirumala, Devasthanam, only Hindus will be given a place. Fine. It is your wish, your thing. But you know, look at the Waqf Bill, where they say that, you know, it will also comprise non-Muslim members. How can you have different rules for different bodies? What is with this hypocrisy?
No, the percentage of people who are more, and he'll just take that time Pepsi, because it demands more as far as the people's verdict and votes are concerned. It is just like a vote bank politics. Before the elections, whatever the promises he made as far as the Muslim community's vote bank is concerned, both Pawan Kalyan and as well as Chandrababu Naidu, the promises what they have given it to the respective community. Today, at the close clusters in 2024 Parliament Amendment Bill is concerned, we will definitely witness what sort of amendments it will be taken by these people. They'll take all sort of amendment for their convenience sake. If you really recollect the Tirupati issue, the initiation which was taken by Chandrababu Naidu, more he has specified and specifically given 100% support by Pawan Kalyan, and he has initiated for Sanatana issue also. Subsequent developments, if you really look at it, nothing has happened. And simply a senior journalist like you, who is working in India today, has given a clear-cut picture about what exactly has taken place versus what the blames have been. The people like you are there for the sake of Andhra Pradesh to give the original voices, then only people will understand. These sort of debates will definitely enlighten Andhra Pradesh people that what exactly they are looking at.
Mr. Prasad, I don't work for India Today. I work for News9, sir. Of course, if you want to give me a job elsewhere, oh, in India Today. Oh, look at the play of words, Mr. Prasad. Fantastic. I missed the in. Mr. Prasad, I also want to bring to your notice, let's be fair to Babu. I know that he's changed his colors, Mr. Prasad. You know Andhra much better than I can ever imagine to do. The point is that, you know, when this whole 4% reservation for the Muslim minorities came up, he was the first one to say, I will not, you know, go against that. I will give them reservation. You saw how the center reacted. They said, let's take it away. Let's distribute it amongst other marginalized communities. But Babu said, I will not. And at that time, everyone said, Arey, how is it possible? He's just shaken hands with the BJP, so he's speaking in a folk tongue. Do you think, maybe, I'm asking you, vote bank politics is of course, you know, the rights of politician, first fundamental right. But the point is that, do you think that 12% is that important for Babu?
No, it is not. It is only, it is not the importance, it is the prioritization. He'll pick the priority things before the elections. He acts accordingly, and after that, he just forgets about what he has promised. And later he continues as per his whims and fancies. The same way, he takes undue advantage of these set of communities, and he uses them as a vote bank. After the voting and everything, his real color will definitely come as far as this parliament section starts and what sort of stand he takes. And definitely people will understand this time And henceforth, whatever the U-turns he is about to take as far as communities and as far as state situations are concerned, it is a big eye-opener for entire Andhra Pradesh, not only for people around.
That note, I'm going to take a break, but I'm coming right back on the same debate. Will Chandrababu Naidu say no to the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024? Vishal K.S. Prasad, political analyst, says he's doing it for politics. But we'll find out whether he will walk the talk and step out of his comfort zone. That's after the break. I'll see you on the other side.
This is News9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
Indian Americans are redefining success in every field. However, Indian Americans haven't historically been a political force in US elections. But the 2024 race could mark a turning point for one of the fastest growing immigrant groups in the country. Ever since Kamala Harris, the daughter of an Indian mother, unexpectedly rose to become the 2024 Democratic nominee, Indian American communities say they've seen a groundswell of support and energy for this election. Elections are won on the margin, and Indian Americans can be that margin of victory. This is the Indian American vote.
All right, welcome back. That's our leading debate. Will Chandrababu say no to the Waqf Bill? I have K.S. Prasad, who is a very senior political analyst. So far in the first segment, he said this is all politics. He's known to do a U-turn, and therefore this time around also we'll have to wait and see. Mr. Prasad, do you think this is just kind of to impress the people, to impress his constituency? Because look at Nawab Jan. You know, if we can play his bite, if I can request production to play Nawab Jan's bite yet again, then I'll come to Mr. Prasad.
वजीर आला नारा चंद्रबाबू नायडू साहब एक सेक्युलर माइंड के आदमी हैं। उसका मिसाल बोलता हूं मैं, उन्होंने कभी स्टेज में हंदे एक ही बात बोलते, हिंदू मुसलमान मुझे दोनों आंखें के बराबर है। एक आंखी को मान लगा तो पूरा जिस्म को तकलीफ होता, मैं बर्दाश्त नहीं करता हूं। दोनों को एक ही नजर से देख के मैं आगे ले जाने में काम करता हूं बोल को हर प्लेटफॉर्म में भी हमारे वजीर आला नारा चंद्रबाबू नायडू साहब बोलते आ रहे हैं, करते भी आ रहे हैं।
So, Mr. Prasad, let me ask you once again, do you think this is just for the time being stopgap? See, Nawab Jan is a very senior leader, you know, and he came all the way to Delhi, sir, to say that he is a secular man. There seems to be in Nawab Jan's voice a trustworthy thing that Babu will never do this with us. Do you think that he will be betrayed, this man on the screen, Mr. Prasad?
No, it's not the question. He's a religious person as far as Nawab Jan is concerned. He definitely gives a lot of concern to his community and as far as his people around. And in the same scenario with huge expectations, he's been traveling with Chandrababu Naidu for years together, and he knows that it's a bridge, it's a trust, ma'am. As far as trust is concerned, Chandrababu Naidu will definitely do his best. That's what being a party man, that's what he's assuring people around. But quite unfortunately, the NDA government, even under the clusters of Chandrababu Naidu, whether he does or he doesn't, it won't make any sense, because the total scenario of NDA, after acceptance of each and every stanza by these people, then only they are allowed in Chandrababu Naidu to be a part and parcel of NDA. The mediocracy by respect to Pawan Kalyan, whatever he does, and after the forming of this government, these people have no voice other than NDA, BJP's voice. So, with a huge regard to the gentleman, the trust what he had on Chandrababu Naidu, it's going to be a breach of trust. Trust me, that is.
Very strong words coming there from a seasoned journalist like you, Mr. Prasad. You know, if you remember, in the floor of the House many months ago, this man who is from the TDP, his name is Lavu Sri Krishna. He had said, Lavu Sri Krishna, he had said, we are going to walk the middle path. He said there are problems with the Waqf board, you know, the amendment, bill, I beg your pardon. He said that this has been used to justify the inclusion of non-Muslim members in the boards and to remove the mandatory requirement of Muslim generally. He said that it was a misinterpretation. He said we should broad base it. Do you think at that time itself, by taking a middle path, which is called fence sitting, straight, I speak straight, fence sitting. What does taking a middle path means? This is not Mahatma Gandhi. You know, these are all politicians of this day. Do you think they have already laid down, and do you think they will say, listen, it was majority of the voices said this is what needs to be done, and we went with what the majority voice said?
Again, they'll also do a great move by walking out from the parliament. We are not supporting.
Okay. But then look at... No, but look at the perception that will send out Mr. Prasad. If they walk out, he's the biggest kind of component of the NDA, sir. If he walks out, it will send out a very, very bad message, and the opposition will pounce on them, because they are already opposing in all the JPC's initial meetings, and tomorrow also there is one big crucial meeting. They have said that this is biased and this is against the minority community. So what is the kind of messaging you think Babu will appease his own party than appease NDA?
That's a smart excuse. They'll absent the parliament section. They say all sort of excuses instead of taking a different direction from NDA. They'll take all sort of excuses. This is what my basic understanding with Chandrababu Naidu as far as particular bill is concerned. If in parliament, definitely they'll, as far as NDA, BJP is concerned, they'll put down for the bill. If it comes to Rajya Sabha, there may be a number game again. Then the master is there as far as Amit Shah is concerned. He knows the floor management and all. Before that, in parliament, I don't know what sort of strategy they are going to opt. Indirectly or directly, they are going to support this particular bill. Why? Because they are fixed grooves as far as NDA is concerned. They are in the clusters. We are all saying that NDA is under the support of Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu. I don't know about Nitish Kumar right now. At present, Telugu Desam, even after having the voice, they are not even giving voice against NDA. This is clear and evident. As far as particular situations like Vijay steel plant, if you narrate all sort of things which was taking place in Andhra Pradesh, by special zone, special package, all things, if you really keep in chronicle order, after meeting Revanth Reddy in Telangana, also, as far as the promises which was made in separation, nothing has been initiated from Telugu Desam till today. Apart from all that, as far as Amaravati as a capital, that bill also not even initiated by these people. Just look at it.
All right.
Last, if you're the senior journalist, last 5 years, roaring voices from respective people, some needs to be done at the last hour. That was not when Chandrababu Naidu, was the reason Jagan Mohan Reddy had initiated for 3 capitals and all. Right. Today, after 5 months also, nothing has been happened as far as Amaravati is concerned. Keeping all these state privileges are concerned, which was not even initiated by Chandrababu Naidu and Telugu Desam. And I'm not in an illusion that they are going to do as far as Waqf board bill is concerned for the sake of 10-12% of Andhra Pradesh Muslims. I don't even imagine.
I'll come back and ask you another crucial question, Mr. Prasad. Right now, I'm taking a break, but when I come back, like I said, we're still on the topic. Will Chandrababu Naidu walk the talk in saying no to the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024? See you on the other side.
Opportunity in this election to turn the page on a decade of Donald Trump.
You say Harris, nobody knows who the heck we're talking about, right?
Democracy's biggest stage.
What are the key issues dominating the U.S. presidential polls? I'm Hamza Kambazai, coming to you with all the updates from Washington, D.C.
Take a look at what happened.
A grand presidential contest.
I'm Ujjwal, and I shall get you minute-by-minute updates on the shifting voters' mood in the U.S. presidential elections.
News9 captures the moment.
We'll tell you how the verdict will impact you and the global economy.
Washington, D.C., New York, Texas, Atlanta, Detroit, ground reports and analysis.
For live updates, please stay tuned to News9.
Stay live with News9.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
All right, so that's the story that we're discussing with Chandrababu Naidu saying no to Waqf Bill. Joining us is also Suresh Kochatil, senior political analyst and journalist. He's joining us on the phone line. Hi, Suresh. Can you, I mean, it's not so good to not see you, Suresh, but hi.
I'm trying, that is, it's not correct to take it, so I pulled over somewhere and I'm taking this call. That is fine.
Right, okay, but thanks very much for joining. I mean, despite whatever. You think this kind of speaking in a folk tongue, as it were, Chandrababu Naidu's senior person, leader, Nawab John, coming to Delhi and speaking at a Jamaat confluence saying that Chandrababu Naidu will say no to the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024. What happens to being an integral part of NDA then? Do you think he'll walk the talk?
I did check with the TDP sources, very senior TDP sources.
Yeah.
He said the gentleman has no right to speak. Naidu has not said anything like this, and Naidu will go ahead and support. Pawan Kalyan has already indicated his support. Pawan Kalyan's MPs will support, and Naidu also will support. There's no other vote. This gentleman was purely playing to the gallery. And as you know, in Kerala too, the Congress is now fighting a scare because the bishops have told the Congress MPs to resign if they don't vote for the bill in the parliament. Because there's an issue at Munambam, you know that what is happening at Munambam, the 650 families have been impacted. The Kerala's MPs, I'm told, will abstain from parliament from voting against the bill. So that is what is going to happen. So nothing happening with Chandrababu Naidu. I checked with a very senior person, not one, three people.
Right.
And all the three people said this gentleman has no right to speak.
Poor man. I think Nawab Jan is unnecessarily become a fall guy because, you know, he's a very senior, I mean, one can call him, like my friend Prasad said, religious leader. He comes all the way to Delhi. He speaks at this confluence of people, and now he's been, you know, he's been cut down to size. But because, you know, we've also having a major hullabaloo in Karnataka, as you well know, you know, where the government said that no notices were given. We are now, you know, withdrawing all the notices. There was in Haveri, we saw stone pelting, we saw violence of, you know, which was really terrible. Homes were burnt and there was arson, etc., etc. But let me tell you something. Let's go back, flashback. You know, a couple of months ago, Lavusri Krishna, one of the leaders of Sai Krishna, I beg your pardon, one of the leaders of the TDP, even at that time, he said, look, I'm taking the middle path. I'm neither going this side nor going that side. How do you explain that then?
See, this is exactly the problem. Naidu has never said anything. It is these chota-mota leaders who come to the fore and try to play to the gallery because they'll stay in the public eye for a day or two. The problem
but he's the Lok Sabha floor leader, Suresh.
That is all fine, but this is a family party. Naidu decides everything, and it has been decided at the very senior level. Even if Naidu doesn't come, he will abstain. Imagine that bill will smoothly pass through Parliament, not an issue, because remember Pawan Kalyan. I think he's more hardcore Hindutva than even Modi. And Pawan Kalyan is all for it, and Naidu has no choice but to follow. And that is exactly what is going to happen.
Prasad, do you agree to what Suresh is saying, that, you know, this doesn't have Naidu's stamp? So what are we talking about? Let's not jump the gun. I don't think so. I think these guys have been made complete scapegoats, you know. What do you think?
Absolutely, ma'am. What my senior Guruji said is 100% right, because he knows much better than everyone as far as Chandrababu Naidu is concerned. So the stands what he makes according to his whims and fancies only, not for the state, not for the people around. So obviously this particular bill, Lav Krishnadevarayalu, who might be a floor leader, that particular time he might have said, for the sake of these 2 months survival. As far as the next session is, anyway it's open. Before that, what party stand should be, it will never become a debatable topic as far as these 2 months are concerned. Now, the booming birds have come now debate has started. tomorrow and day after tomorrow, as soon as the parliament session starts, what sort of colors will they flow? Definitely, people will realize what stands have been. And we have been seeing this particular gentleman, as far as Andhra Pradesh state recently happened is concerned. We have been taking all sort of U-turns according to his convenience. He's in driving seat for less than 2 terms, more than 2 terms, and obviously he takes his U-turns, and we need to be in the back seat. That's it.
So you are saying will he abstain? No, Prasad, sir, are you saying he'll abstain? You think you said walk out before the break. He said they will walk out. Are you saying they'll walk out, or are you saying they'll abstain?
Second thing is quite evident. It's first thing, if the floor of the house, if they start walk out, definitely the opposition benches are very strong. It is not 3 and 3 rounds. It is 240 odd. So
then I'll call both of you. Yeah, because I don't think it's going to be so easy as to say, I think there's going to be hullabaloo over this, because it's not the first time. Like I spoke with you about the 4% reservation, and he said he's going to give it to the minorities, whereas Amit Shah had at the same time said that no, we are rethinking it. I've completely, lost time right now, and therefore I will have to say thanks to both of you. Suresh, sorry so much that I run out of time and you joined us late, and next time I want to see you too. Thank you very much. And also Mr. Prasad, many thanks for joining us on this broadcast. And the next story which is coming up is from Tamil Nadu. Vijay TVK passes resolutions condemning one nation, one election, and the new education policies. Vijay, a rising political force in Tamil Nadu. That's what we are going to discuss.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
Indian Americans are redefining success in every field. However, Indian Americans haven't historically been a political force in US elections. But the 2024 race could mark a turning point for one of the fastest growing immigrant groups in the country. Ever since Kamala Harris, the daughter of an Indian mother, unexpectedly rose to become the 2024 Democratic nominee, Indian American communities say they've seen a groundswell of support and energy for this election. Elections are won on the margin, and Indian Americans can be that margin of victory. This is the Indian American vote.
Hello. If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody, or if cyber scam takes place with you,
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
And you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ.
If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%, and if you report it 21 days, I think 25% or something.
और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ.
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done. I personally have seen a lot of cases where 100% recovery has been done.
आपका सिम यूज हुआ है, इलीगल एक्टिविटीज हुई हैं उस सिम से. Oh my God. Madam, you are also involved in the Naresh Goyal money laundering case.
This is News9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
Why is the state not looking at putting an embargo on that?
As a Telangana person, I will not accept.
How do ordinary folks deal with this? All right, this is our second story. Vijay, the new political force in Tamil Nadu? We are asking a question, not making a statement. Tamil actor turned politician Vijay's party TVK has passed resolutions against several key issues, including One Nation, One Election initiative and the Waqf Amendment Bill. During an executive and district functionaries meeting chaired by Vijay, the party criticized the Muka Stalin-led Dravida Munneta Kazhagam government for the perceived decline in law and order in Tamil Nadu. TVK's resolution labelled the One Nation, One Election concept as contrary to the principles of democracy and federalism. The meeting concluded with a commitment to adhere to the party's ideology and policies wholeheartedly and strongly. Now, apart from that, the TVK condemned the BJP and the centre, calling the Waqf Amendment Bill, currently under review by a joint parliamentary committee, an attack on federalism and urged its withdrawal. Last week, Vijay, while addressing the party state conference in Chennai, announced his party has been based on secular social justice ideologies with leaders like EVR, Periyar and K. Kamaraj as its guiding lights. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and DMK Supremo Muka Stalin reacted to Vijay's stand against his party. In a veiled dig at actor Vijay, who recently launched his party, Stalin said, and I quote him, "I do not want to waste my time by answering to people who are new to politics." Listen in.
என்னடா திமுக வளர்வது அவங்களுக்கு பிடிக்கல, அதான் காரணம். அதனால இன்னைக்கு யார் யாரோ வரவெல்லாம் புதுசா கட்சி தொடங்குறவெல்லாம் திமுக ஒழியணும் அழியணும் என்ற அந்த நிலையில தான் இன்னைக்கு போயிட்டு இருக்காங்களே தவிர, நான் அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் சொல்றேன், அவங்களெல்லாம் நான் பணிவோடு இந்த நேரத்தில் கேட்டுக்கொள்ள விரும்புகிறேன். இன்றைக்கு இந்த 3 ஆண்டு காலத்தில், இந்த 3 ஆண்டு காலத்தில் 4 ஆண்டை தொடரக்கூடிய இந்த நிலையில இந்த ஆட்சி செய்திருக்கக்கூடிய சாதனைகளை ஒரு கணம் எண்ணி பாருங்கள். ஒரே வரையில சொன்னா அண்ணா சொல்வார், வாழ்க வசவாளர்கள் அப்படின்னு வார்த்தை சொல்லுவார். அதான் நான் சொல்ல முடியும். நாங்க அதை பத்தி கவலையே படல. எங்க போக்கு மக்களுக்கு நல்லமை செய்யக்கூடிய போக்குதான். தேவையில்லாம எல்லாருக்கும் நாங்கள் பதில் சொல்ல வேண்டிய அவசியமே இல்ல, தேவையும் இல்ல. எங்க நேரத்தை வீணடிக்க நாங்க விரும்பல. மக்களுக்கு பணியாற்ற அதற்கே நேரம் கிடைக்கல.
Very strong words there from Muka Stalin. So let me now introduce you to the guests. SMA Jamaldeen, spokesperson for the TVK, is joining us, and T. Ramakrishnan, senior associate editor of The Hindu. A very warm welcome to both of you. Vanakkam. I want to first go to Ramakrishnan. Ramakrishnan, I want to ask you that do you think that pretty much what he talks about, we've all heard it before? Say no to third language, say no to NEET, say no to one nation, one poll, say no to Waqf, everything. What is then the difference? Is it only because that he comes with one thing, and that is he appeals to the youth, and also he does not have the dynastic tag behind him, Ramakrishnan?
Of course, he has not offered anything fresh, anything new to people of Tamil. But what he senses is that there is some sort of vacuum, okay, post Karnataka, post Jayalalitha period. He is positioning to occupy a considerable portion of that space, and then perhaps term or even in about 10 years, he can emerge as one of the principal political forces. So, and then he doesn't want to up the existing the political narrative or discourse. So on various issues. So he doesn't want to take any stand that is different from what others or most of the people have done. So there is nothing surprising as far as his stand on various issues is concerned. Perhaps he feels that that will help him in the medium or long run.
Ramakrishnan, I want to, you said the vacuum that has been because of Kalangir and J. Jayalalitha. Vijay can't compare himself because he's a newbie. He's a new kid on the block. Not that he will not do it after 10, 12 years. He's so new. Another thing is, if you look at J. Jayalalitha, not talking about Kalangir, although he also has his origins in cinema, the point is that in recent times, Tamil Nadu has not thrown up any big actors as politicians. What happened to Kamala Hassan? Big actor. Captain Vijay Kant. We've all seen them falling by the way. Somehow, Tamil Nadu, there's been a tectonic shift. They know very well that these actors may not make consummate politicians. Do you agree, Ramakrishnan, before I go to the TVK spokesperson?
That is, not every actor makes a consummate politician, but the one thing is the age is on the side of Vijay. Okay, let us not gloss over that fact. And then perhaps Vijay would have studied that's what I understand. Because, he would have studied the examples of Kamal Hassan and Vijay Kant. Of course, the Kamal Hassan, as far as Kamal Hassan is concerned, that it was a surprise that he chose to come. At least Vijay Kant and very many others, they were all preparing themselves, but still they couldn't make it. But let us, Vijay also has been preparing himself for this, for the plunge in politics. So the point is that he has not been able to offer anything new. To be, prefers to adopt a very cautious approach. That is, he doesn't.
Let me go to and your audio, there is some problem, Ramakrishnan. I am not able to hear very well. Maybe you have to get it corrected. Let me go to Mr. Jamaldeen. Mr. Jamaldeen, Vanakkam.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Good evening. Vanakkam, ma'am.
Good evening. You know, what is easier if I am asking the question because the more the merrier, Mr. Jamaldeen. If he's somebody who's going to change things in Tamil Nadu in 2026, very good. Yes. But you know, you read all the resolutions, you know, what he talks about, the main ones as it were. You know, he says that one is a political adversary, the other is an ideological adversary, DMK as well as Bajka. I want to ask you, why should any person consider him as a political force to reckon with? Mr. Jamaldeen, your turn. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, ma'am. This is actually Vijay is, though he is new, but he is not new to the public. He is already in the people's mind. He is already in the people's kitty, and he is going to establish himself as a politician with the entry in 2026. The change will happen when the people give the verdict. So that's the initial step the people will give TVK, that is to Vijay, as their leader, and that will make the change, initial change. After that, when he gets the verdict, he will provide the change, what is required for the next 5 years. So,
Mr. Jamaldeen, Mr. Jamaldeen, we need to understand, because when he talks about anti-NEET, he says we do not want Hindi imposition, we do not want third language in this in Tamil Nadu, we do not want NEET, we do not want others, you know, to divide Hindus, Muslims, Christians, etc., etc. Very good. Secular, social ideology. Samuttama, exactly what the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam has been saying. What is different?
The different is, main thing is what he spoke, what our head leader Vijay spoke, is the corruption. We oppose the corruptive DMK. That is what he clearly mentioned in the thing, and that we want to clear out that corruption attitude of the present DMK ruling. So that is the main thing we are opposing DMK. We want to give a non-corrupt government to the people.
Also, Mr. Jamaldeen, I think you are veering more towards the Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, ADMK, because that's one party that you've really not attacked. Your leader has not attacked at all. So, have you kept the doors open, sir?
No, we have kept the doors open to all ideal minds, ideal people. That's what he had mentioned, that we welcome people with ideal thoughts, ideal minds, and we are ready to gather them and join with them.
There is no political party which is not corrupt, sir. You know and I know. That's an ideal utopian idea. It does not exist anywhere. It's a fantasy. Because ADMK, if I start doing a show on the corruption charges against them, it will take at least a year. Ramakrishnan, let me come to you. I'll come to you, sir. Ramakrishnan, I want to ask you, this no corruption, no corruption. The man is a great actor. He's a star. He's a goat, to play on his last film. But the point is, what corruption? He's just started out. They all started out like this, no? Whether it is Yedapadi Palaniswamy, whether it is OPS. I mean, all of them started. So I don't understand that, just by saying I will not be corrupt, don't you think that's very silly? Because every politician ultimately is corrupt.
Okay, that's a perception, at least. The popular perception is that every politician is corrupt. But the point here is that, you see, he wants to create a strong base among the youth. Okay, the youth who have a lot of aspirations to fulfill. So, and then also I think he wants to build a base among women. So these are the two target constituencies which he apparently is having at present. So I think only if you say that he will have a zero tolerance towards corruption, his stock will rise. So that maybe that is his calculation. Of course, everybody knows that in politics, in due course of time, many people become corrupt, but not necessarily everyone. But the point is at least so he wants to project himself as a savior, anti-corruption crusader, and through which he feels that he can build a base among the youth and the women.
And on that note, thank you very much, Mr. Jamaldeen, for joining us on this broadcast. I've completely run out of time. And Ramakrishnan, always such a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you indeed. And the next story which is coming up is also from Tamil Nadu. Udhayanidhi Stalin criticises Bollywood, says no film industry in North India is as vibrant as the film industries thriving in the south of India. All right, that's the story. Udhayanidhi criticises Bollywood. I'm not going to mince any words. I'm going to say it as it is. He did criticize Bollywood. Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Udhayanidhi, has stirred a fresh controversy with remarks comparing the film industries in North and South India. Speaking at a literature festival in Kozhikode in Kerala on Saturday, Udhayanidhi claimed that aside from Bollywood, no northern state has a film industry as vibrant as those in the south. He said the booming Tamil film industry now generating billions in revenue alongside thriving industries in Kerala, Telugu and Kannada cinema. Udhayanidhi asked, and I quote, does any language in North India have an industry as vibrant as ours? The answer is a big no, adding that Bollywood has largely overshadowed smaller northern film industries. He also said many northern states don't even have their own film industry. Reflecting on the 1950s, Udhayanidhi Stalin noted that Tamil cinema was once heavily Sanskritized and accessible mainly to upper caste, affluent audiences. He credited the Dravidian movement with making cinema more inclusive, allowing people from diverse backgrounds to enjoy films. Now, Tamil Nadu BJP Vice President Narayan Tirupati reacted to Udhayanidhi's statements, calling him a failed actor and a failed film personality.
Udhayanidhi Stalin is a failed actor, a failed film personality, and that is the reason he doesn't know. His immaturity, his inexperience speaks like that. I challenge Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin to ask his own people, the Red Giant movies and also the Sun Pictures, not to take Hindi version of Tamil films. Can he do that? Throughout India is unaware that the Marathi film industry, Odia film industry, Bengali film industry, Gujarati film industry, Assamese film industry, all have been growing in their turnover by more than 20 or 25%, whereas the Tamil film industry is decreasing. He should understand this, he should know this. He will become a failed politician like a failed actor, a failed film personality.
Earlier in the day, I spoke to author, writer and film historian Gautam Chintamani on this same topic. Listen in. Let me now go across to Gautam Chintamani, who is an author, writer and film historian, to speak about this. Gautam, hi, welcome to the broadcast. Let me take his statements point by point. Number one, he says that the South Indian film industry is extremely vibrant. I think Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin does not know history. There was a time when it was called Madras Presidency. So whether it was Telugu cinema, Kannada cinema or Kerala cinema, everything was concentrated in Chennai. You still have Prasad Labs in Chennai. You had color correction in Chennai. The big studios, whether it was, Vijaya Vahini or AVM, they were all in Chennai. So first of all, to say, and now look at Andhra, look at Karnataka and Kerala, superb. So first to say that they are the most vibrant, they had a first mover advantage in history, so to speak. Would you agree?
Namaskar, Sudha. I think that you've really summed it up very well. What Mr. Stalin has said does not make a lot of sense. I think the second part of his argument, which is more politically driven, and let's not forget, at the end of the day, he's a politician. So the statement that in the 50s, Tamil cinema used to be very Sanskritized, and the cultural revolution or war, what he would like to believe, transformed that and made sure that films were accessible to all and sundry, is a more loaded statement than the fact that no other industry in the north is thriving. There have been industries in the north, or at least north of Tamil Nadu, as he would like to say, which have gone through different phases. So once upon a time, the Bengal film industry or the Bengali industry was bustling with activity and thriving. Indian industry was partially divided between Lahore and Calcutta. So if we go into history, we see a lot of other things. But I think what essentially he's trying to stoke here is just his political fire by saying that the Dravidian movement, the claim to which his party takes, is responsible for transforming art in a more approachable manner. I think that's completely wrong, because no matter which language you're watching a film in, the art form was transformed to the simplest base formula so that anybody and everybody could see it. That's true for cinema all across the world. Yeah. And that's essentially true for propaganda cinema. To a great extent, what Mr. Stalin is saying is that their propaganda might not be as powerful as it used to be once upon a time.
Yeah, he's also taken, Marathi films into the ambit. And like I said, Mr. Stalin does not know cinema the way one is supposed to know before one makes a comment. Also, he forgets that one of the first eminent directors in Tamil cinema was not a Tamil, he was an American called Ellis Duncan. We all know it because we study cinema, which Mr. Stalin can only do politics and keep talking about Tamil nationality. I'm going to come back to you, Gautam. Before that, let's listen into what Narayan Tirupati of the BJP had to say on what Udhayanidhi said.
Udhayanidhi Stalin is a failed actor, a failed film personality, and that is the reason he doesn't know. His immaturity, his inexperience speaks like that. I challenge Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin to ask his own people, the Red Giant movies and also the Sun Pictures, not to take Hindi version of Tamil films. Can he do that? Throughout India is unaware that the Marathi film industry, Odia film industry, Bengali film industry, Gujarati film industry, Assamese film industry, all have been growing in their turnover by more than 20 or 25%, whereas the Tamil film industry is decreasing. He should understand this, he should know this. He will become a failed politician like a failed actor, a failed film personality.
His statement on Sanatan Dharma and comparing it to be a disease is very distasteful. It hurt crores of people. It created a furor. Now he comes up targeting Bollywood in the similar manner. So one wonders, why is he doing it? Is this how he thinks? Or is this a strategy for him to create these statements and come into the media? And one notes he does this even after holding office and he has taken the oath of the Constitution.
Also, Gautam, this, kind of Tamil nationalism he talks about. First of all, cinema breaks all barriers. I mean, you can see a Vaida Rahman in a Satyajit Ray film. We've all, Abhijan, we've seen that, right? Now, the thing is, if he, as the Deputy Chief Minister and also the head of Red Giant Films, feels so particular about Tamil, then why is it that a lot of Hindi actors work there? I mean, I can talk about Khushbu Sundar, one of the most successful. Of course, even Mr. Rajnikant, not originally Tamil. Even M.G. Ramachandran, not originally Tamil. And also you have a lot of Tamanna Bhatia works in that industry. You have, Kajal Agarwal. Also, the other argument, Gautam. Why did Kamal Haasan go and do Sagar, Ek Duje Ke Liye, Raj Tilak, Sanam Teri Kasam? And why did Rajnikant go and do a whole lot of, Andha Kanun and all those films there? Look at Sridevi. She made a transition and like how? I mean, after Padanaru Vaidinile, she goes and does a dubbed Solma Savan, and then after that she just bursts into the horizon. So I don't understand what Udhayanidhi Stalin is trying to prove. Is it, see, I'm okay if you're trying to prove something because you are a politician, there is no logic to your statements. But he's also from a film family. His grandfather wrote Parasakti. Don't you think what he says makes absolutely no sense, Gautam Chintamani?
No, not only that, Sudha, it's also very, very concerning to see that a leader, a political leader, consistently chooses to create this kind of artificial divide. I mean, every time he makes a statement, it seems to be divisive as opposed to joining people. Not only the examples that you mentioned, but just if you look at the last 12 months, the biggest successes of Indian cinema have been films like RRR, Pathan, KGF. These films have made waves across the world. So instead of celebrating the fact that there has been such a cultural bond, not just today, but the examples that you've given and even before that, the idea to consistently keep on saying that there is a divide, us and them, that is nothing more than just, cheap political theatrics, if I can use that term. I think the fact that artists such as Sridevi and the examples that you gave of Wahida ji in Mr. Ray's film, these are examples of how India loves films. And irrespective of the language, I mean, today, one of the most vibrant cinema is coming out of Marathi cinema. And the fact that it may not have as big a market as RRR, but then you have to look at the other end of the spectrum also. The fact that there are so many films which are pushing the envelope when it comes to talking about the India of today or bringing people together. The examples are numerous. So I think this is just a cheap political theatrics, I mean, if you ask me.
Absolutely. And on that note, thank you very much. Gautam Chintamani there. All right, then, as promised, I leave you with some of the other top headlines from the south of India. Thank you for watching. Vanakkam.
Opportunity in this election to turn the page on a decade of Donald Trump.
You say Harris, nobody knows who the heck we're talking about, right?
Democracy's biggest stage.
What are the key issues dominating the U.S. presidential polls? I'm Hamza Kambazai, coming to you with all the updates from Washington, D.C.
Take a look at what happened